Hey, what's up, guys? It's that time again, and we're taking on Black Roses once again. This is an away match for us. We always seem to play Black Roses. How about that? And let's see how we do here today. So we're actually going to leave Toa Maele out of this one. N.A. New Seal is going to be up there up front. And if he needs to be replaced, we do have Puasa Maele here on the bench. Reason why is because Toa Maele is tired, and we're going to need him later on when we play Ilau and Tomata, not in the next match, but the match afterwards. So I might as well give him a little bit of a rest here against a team that we're pretty sure that we can beat, and then hope that we actually do beat them. Let's see what happens, and we are favorites for a reason, so go win the match. Please go win the match. Do not lose. If we lose to Black Roses, I'm going to be very disappointed. And let's see what happens. They have a formation that looks like they're going to hold everybody back in defense. We have Isu playing in the midfield role. I think this is his first match for us, so let's see how that works. And if we win here, we might be able to springboard above Viola Tongan, which would put us in second place. So there's just that little bit of pressure that's on us. Let's see what we can do. And it is them with the ball first. And let's see if we can take it off of them. Black Roses with a real nice looking uniform. And this is going to be taken away by Poli, thankfully. And we're able to move this up to the right side. And it ends up with our goalie for a goal kick. And Famuana ends up grabbing this one. He's going to bring it up right side. Famuana still, and he is fouled by Isu, and there's no call. That's okay. They just pass it to Poli. Poli over to Isu. Isu, I should say. Back to Rock, over to Famuana, who prevents that from going out, and it's headed up. Famuana wins it over to Rock. Rock with it, and there's the cross over to Nui Sila, and N.A. just about is able to score the first goal of the match. He scored for the first match of the season and then hasn't done anything since, so we'll see what we can do with him. The assistant coach tells me that he doesn't quite have the potential or the ability to play on this squad, and they're probably right. The problem is that the best strikers that we have include one guy who keeps screaming at me during team meetings and another kid who's 16 who's on the under 18s, so we might want to think about taking the 16-year-old up is probably what I'm thinking. Milani here with this ball left side, and moves it back over to Tailau Lee, who hasn't played for a while. Tailau Lee with it, passes over to Isu. Isu's wide open. Takes this up himself, takes a shot, and that ends up being a corner. I'm guessing that their keeper got a hand onto that one, and so it's going to be Isu again with the corner, and he's done just about everything here. He walks up and takes it, and it ends up off a defender's head, and we end up with nothing out of it. Tia for them is going to take it forward. Our Tia, unfortunately, has been injured. He's going to end up missing the Ilo and Tuamata game. I'm forgetting everybody's names here. He's going to miss the biggest match of the season, unfortunately, because of his injury. And so we need to play defense here when it comes to this corner, and we do actually a really good job of it. Ends up all the way back with Rock. And ooh, look at that. Look at all those guys we have on the left side. Isu with it down to Famuana. Famuana brings this forward over to Isu. Isu sees the attackers and decides, instead of passing it, to take a shot from the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, it's something. We have seen guys score that one. Lilo with a throw over to Collins, back to Lilo. Lilo lumps this one forward, and Famuana trips over his own shoelaces, and there's a penalty call. I'm not so sure about that call. That looks a little bit suspicious to me. It's going to be N.A. taking this. He is our best penalty shooter, and he scores. That's number 5 of the season for him. And that makes it 1-0 for PanSa East FC. So far so good. We're getting some rest for some real key players. And N.A. is going to feel pretty good about this one, and that was a good shot. I don't know about the legitimacy of that penalty. It looked like our guy fell over his own feet. But it's a penalty call nonetheless, I guess. Famuana over to Kaleopa. Kaleopa over looking for N.A. Can't quite find him. Ends up with Tualalele, who's back in good graces, over to Isu. Isu up to Collins. Collins lumps this forward looking for Tailalui and finds him, and he lumps that one over for N.A., who inexplicably tries to head that over instead of bringing it down. I'm not quite sure what the idea was behind that. So we end up with about nothing coming out of that one, and now we have to play defense again. And Tyler Louis unable to win that ball off of his man. It goes up to Han, and Ikuval is able to grab that one. I don't think that was quite as brilliant as the commentary below made it seem, but it was a pretty good move by them. That was definitely better than what I was expecting. So we're just holding on here so far, 1-0 after the penalty. And it would be nice to see a little bit more offense. Famuana throws over to Milani. Milani with it back to Famuana. Famuana walks this one up and lumps this forward looking for NA, and he's got like 5 guys around him, so that wasn't going to do anything. Dangerous back pass for Black Roses, and what do? They just lump it over to Hingi Poli. That's what happens when you have everybody playing defending for your team. Milani with it now over to Collins. Collins is going to take it back to Tualolele. Tualolele lumps it forward for NA. Ends up being knocked back into midfield, unfortunately for us, and we need to go over and grab this ball, and instead we're letting them get behind us, and Ikuvalu, fortunately, is able to use his safe hands to control that. 1-0 is the score here going into halftime. And, I think that we are capable of better. We should have been playing a little bit better than that. Just looking quickly to see if we're having any really, really poor performances. Yeah, Lilo looking bad. And we're going to take off Afa Famuana, who's not much better, and put him over there. Fatonu, who I should be worried about doing this. He's going to go play right back for us. Let's see how he can do. This should be pretty interesting here in the second half. Collins with it. Collins takes his time and then lumps the pass forward to nothing. I'm glad that we were able to see that highlight. Thank you very much, Sports Interactive. That was one that I will always remember and cherish. And so let's see what we can do here in the second half, see if we can actually get something going. It does seem that Afa Famuana is motivated. I don't want to see him motivated. I want to see him win. I want to see him do good things on defense because he hasn't done a whole lot of that so far this season. He's been happy to be really not a good player, and that's the problem. Famuana wins it there. That was a good thing. Over to Poli. Poli lumps this up for NA, and not a great idea. Milani ends up heading it back to him. It goes over to Collins now, over to Tyler Louis, down to Famuana. This looks a little bit better, and he lumps one over looking for NA. I don't know where NA is running. Does he know where the goal is? Kalliopa with it. Kalliopa over to Fatonu, over to Milani, then to Isu. And how did that one not go in? Tyler Louis had a header that just hit off the very top crossbar. So this is a big, big mistake here by their goalkeeper. When we watch this again, Fatonu with that cross to Milani to Isu. And you can see that NA ended up missing that one. Tyler Louis is in the right place. And unfortunately, his header is just too high and hits off that top crossbar. So it was a good attempt and it was a good thought, but pretty poor execution in the end. And look at that. Fatonu is having a much better match than Eddie Lilo, so much for that. Even Afa Famuana looks like he kind of knows what he's doing here. Kalliopa here with the free kick and lumps this one forward. And Milani just can't do much with it. It goes back to Kalliopa over to Milani. Milani takes a shot, and he is called in the end for offside. I was wondering about that. I thought maybe he got away with it, but it looked offside. NA with this. NA will walk this up. NA takes it up. NA over to Tyler Louis. How about that for a shot? That's definitely not what I was expecting. Unfortunately, the keeper makes a good play on it, and then he lumps his back straight over to Tualolele. Over to Fatonu. Fatonu with it here on the right side, playing in an unfamiliar position. Over to Kalliopa. Back to Poli. Hingi with it. Hingi hangs around and lumps that one forward to Tyler Louis over to NA, and there it is, number 6 of the season for NA. And it's being called back for offside. So much for that. Take that one back. He only has 5 still this season. And this is, I don't know about that call. What do you think? I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 call, I would say. It could go one way, could go the other. And just didn't go our way that time, unfortunately. Isu lumps this forward for NA and ends over with Milani over to Tyler Louis, who is just a little bit too slow on it. Famuana ends up hitting it straight to the guy who's defending him. So that was a pretty poor idea. Isu grabs this and hopefully will slow it down. Instead, he lumps it forward straight to the defense. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Milani now has it, and this is somebody who has some maturity out there. Over to Collins. Collins, also a young player, finds Tyler Louis. Tyler Louis ends up with a cross that's lumped all the way back over to Tualolele. And ends up with Tyler Louis again. This is good. Over to NA. There's the header. And there is his 6th of the season. 2-0 for PanSa East FC. And Tyler Louis, however you say his name, I've been saying it wrong, I think, the entire save. Did a really, really good job here 2 times in a row with 2 very good crosses. And this one, there's no way that was offside. That was beautifully done by NA, and this is the nice thing about having NA on the squad. That means that I can take out our big star and rest Maile every once in a while and not worry about losing, at least not against the Black Roses. Now, this isn't a very good Black Roses team, but pretty good for us. Kalliopa here with the free kick that goes straight into the wall and is knocked up and out, and that'll be a corner. Pago Youth Royal Puma are tied at 4, which is also good for us. New Sila here with the corner. He steps back and is going to run up and take it. And unfortunately, that one is headed on back. Everybody's looking a little bit complacent, especially on the bench. They're not paying any attention at all to this match. And I don't blame him. NA here to take the corner now. The fans are sure paying attention, and they've been coming out in droves. NA takes this corner. Far post is what he's looking for. Not a great corner. Collins with it, and he lumps one forward. A little bit of a prayer from Collins. I think he's just happy to be out there. And we get the victory. 2.80 XG to their 0.2. 17 shots, 6 on target, 57% of the possession. Again, we are winning headers all over the place, completing a lot of passes. This is a good team. I was worried at the beginning of this season. I thought that I made one too many changes, and now it's turning out that, no, this is a good team once they gel together, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.